How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another AFTV live. The transfer window is finally open, so people stop telling me to stop moaning. The window's not open yet. It's open now. It's open. Rob, what are you saying?
No, you saying to tell people to tell you to stop moaning. That's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, well, listen, the only ones that can stop me moaning is Arsenal and the Kroneke. That's the only ones, but I don't think it'll happen.
But yeah, no, the window is open. Transfer window is open. Even though I was saying on Transfer Daily this morning that I still think a lot of deals are not going to get done yet, because even though the window's open, we still have the situation where there's a lot of players away on international duty, whether it be in South America or whether it be in Europe on the Nations League. So I still think some of the big deals we're after won't happen yet, so people are going to have to be a bit patient on that. But it is open.
Well, we're after big deals, yeah?
I think so. I think there's a couple of, big-ish deals, I feel.
Yeah, well, listen, a couple of the names that's been mentioned in the last few weeks in terms of Tillemans and Jesus. I'd actually be happy with those signings.
Yeah, that'd be good signings. But they would be.
At the start of next season, if those two are the star signings coming in, then I'm going to
No, we need more than that.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. We need more than that, but it would be a very, very good start if we could nail down those two.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've nailed one down today already.
Well, apparently so. Fabrizio Romano, good old Romano, has tweeted. He said, deal finally signed between Arsenal and Sao Paulo for Brazilian winger Marquinhos. Everything completed on a permanent deal, 3.5 million fee. Contract agreed until June 2027 for Marquinhos, born in 2003 and now set to be announced as new Arsenal player, I guess, in the next couple of days. 19-year-old winger.
I just can't get over the born in 2003 thing, man. It makes you just feel so old, I'll tell you that.
It's mad. You think he remembers the Invincibles? Or?
But no, do you know, it's a really fascinating one, this Marquinhos signing, because we've kind of heard about it. It's been in the pipeline over the past couple of weeks. Sao Paulo apparently had him, what they thought had him on a 5-year deal.
Yep.
But as it turns out, there's some sort of things to do with contracts over there that you can't sign a player that young on a 5-year deal.
Long term, yeah.
Right? So it was only really a 3-year deal, or it's less anyway. So also, I don't think he's actually available on a free transfer. I'm not too sure that they even had to pay anything, but they've paid a fee, probably just as a nominal fee.
Yeah,
just
goodwill.
Out of goodwill. Which I think is the right thing to do. And and then there was also this other thing. There was rumours that he had an agreement in place with Wolves.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk that if Arsenal sign him, could there be an issue because he's had this agreement in place with Wolves? But surely they must have sorted out that problem. And we're going to sign this guy. And I don't know a lot about him. Said to be very, very talented. The fact that I don't know a lot about him doesn't mean anything. I didn't know a lot about Gabriel Martinelli. I didn't know anything about Martinelli. True. And, if we're getting another player in that vein, it'd be great. Whether we keep him or whether he goes straight out on loan is another thing as well.
Yeah, a lot of people are assuming it's a replacement for Pepe as a backup to Saka, potentially. I'm not too sure what wing he plays on. I don't know much about him like you.
I just get the feeling that it could be a loan. Yeah. Could be a player that goes out on loan to start. Although Martinelli, when he came in, he was supposed to go out on loan.
And he played a few games.
But when they saw him, they was like, actually, this kid, he's ready now.
Yeah.
Let's put him straight in. So,
and we got Europa League.
Another young player.
Another one in the bag. Like you said, you don't know much about him. I don't know much about him. A lot of us won't know much about him. So what I've done is I looked into it a little bit, and Vampeta, World Cup winner, Brazilian player, Brazilian player, obviously, he's a World Cup winner in 2002. He's somewhat of a journalist out there now. He's got podcasts and whatnot. He said this is absurd. They're going to lose Marquinhos to Arsenal for only 3 million. I used to watch his academy games, under 15s. He was already making a difference. So, by those words, it sounds like we've got an interesting player on our hands. James will be doing a deep dive into Marquinhos with an expert on Brazilian football. That will come out at some point next week, people. So look out for that. James is sorting that out. And those videos are always good because very few of us know much about Marquinhos and Brazil.
Or does anyone out there know anything about him? And tell the truth. Do you know anything about him? Have you seen him play? Do you know any, about? But I have to be real and honest that I've never seen him play. Just reading the reports that he's a really talented player, but this is why we have scouts and they're out there. And if if there's talking like that over in Brazil, and the fact that Wolves were after him as well. Wolves, as we know, always bring in very talented players. Yeah. So that bodes well. But he is a young player, and that's the only thing. We need some experience, and there's nothing wrong with buying players like this. And it's a very cheap price, and it's we need to be bringing through players that are going to be improve. Yeah. But we need a lot of experience in the team.
Do you know what it is now, Rob? Going into next season, let's say Marquinhos is in the bag and then we get 3 more players. I don't class Marquinhos as a signing for now.
Nor do I.
So I wouldn't want to hear people saying we've signed 4 players and Marquinhos being one of those, because the players we need to sign this summer need to be first team depth. It has to be one or the other.
I agree with you. To me, it's a signing, but it's almost like it's like an under 23 signing, or I'm not looking on this like he could be amazing and come straight in, and that'd be fantastic. But I'm not looking on it like this at the moment. No, I'm certainly not. And not yet. It's a signing. Big GZ says Marquinhos has got some pace on him.
At 19, I should hope so. If he ain't got pace at 19, we've got problems.
And Khalid Hassan says nobody knew about Vinicius. No, I think people did know about Vinicius. When Real Madrid signed him, he was a highly rated young player. So no, and they paid a lot of money for him as well.
Decent amount.
So yep. And this guy here, Kera, I hope I pronounced it right. He says, "Hi, Robbie and Turkish. I'm an Arsenal fan, Sao Paulo fan as well. He's a very different from Martinelli. Martinelli is a main man at a smaller club." He's trying to be funny here. But he says, Marquinhos is a great prospect, but I don't think he's ready.
Oh. How many times am I going to hear a player's not ready at Arsenal Football Club? So it's something we've become used to, but we just need to know this one is not for this season. I'm not looking at him.
This guy here, Mark, says Marquinhos is someone who would book his spot for next season. He's exceptionally good.
Hopefully.
So there's a couple of people there, giving us a little update on him. Paul James says he plays something like Raphinha, but he's finishing his average, and positional play can be worked on. He's got a low centre of gravity, and he can take a foul. Good with the ball at his feet, he says.
Well, at 19, I'll take that. Finishing can be taught, finishing can be learned, and experience will bring that. So I'll take that. And Comrade says we really are signing a lot of Brazilians with Edu around. We are, aren't we? We are. Let's just hope it works.
We are. I mean, back in the day, you would have said, just sign as many Brazilians as possible.
Bring the Brazilian man and French man into the squad. That's what I would have been saying.
Yeah. But it's true. We are signing a lot of Brazilians, isn't it? Because the Brazilian count is going up in the team. And, since Edu's been around, a lot of Brazilians have been last season, Willian, David Luiz as well. Yeah. Or the season before, should I say.
Martinelli's coming.
Marquinhos.
Now Jesus is linked.
Raphinha,
moving on. Sam Dean of The Telegraph reports that Arsenal are among the clubs who are considering a move for Leeds winger Raphinha. No formal offer at this stage, but he is understood to be on the list of potential targets. International teammate of Martinelli and used to play with Gabriel at club level. There's a player that will have an instant impact, a player that we're used to seeing in the Premier League, but a player that plays in a position that we don't need to particularly strengthen this summer.
He's quality though.
He is quality.
Absolute quality. I love him as a footballer. Balance, skills, can score goals, free kicks. Now, all the links that I've seen with him have been linking him to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if Arsenal moves for Raphinha, because like you said, we've got Saka, we've got Pepe. But are we going to keep Pepe?
Big question.
Then again, Raphinha is not going to be cheap.
Yeah,
so we're going to use up our budget on Raphinha. I don't know. I can't see it myself. No. I really can't see it. Listen, in our ideal world, these are the type of players we should be signing.
100%.
We should be signing Raphinha. We should be signing Jesus. We should be signing all these type of players. But just going off of what I think might happen, just as my hunch, I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
We need that type of signing in terms of stature and impact and quality, but in other areas first.
There's more important areas. If the budget's going to be limited, there's more important areas to deal with first. But make no mistake, Raphinha for me would be an absolute quality signing.
Yeah, for any team.
He's an excellent player. Simple as that. An excellent player. I'm glad we're showing interest in him, but
we're not at that stage where we are, a well-oiled machine, and you can add Raphinha into the well-oiled machine and rotation, and he'll get his game time and all work well. Right now, we're still trying to plug the gaps in the squad. We're still trying to fine-tune the machine. It's not well-oiled yet. It's far from it. Raphinha is a quality player. I've talked about him multiple times this season, and Leeds on the verge of going down. His price tag would have been 20-30 mil, and for that price, I would have looked at Arsenal and said, try and get it done. But I'm sure a lot of clubs would have. Now Leeds stayed up 60-70 mil. I don't want Arsenal.
They're not getting that for him.
Yeah, well,
they're not getting that for him. I don't think he's worth that. I think. Having said that,
the market's skewed.
I think he's worth about 50 million. I really do. I think he's a talent. He's proved it in. The thing is, he's proved it in the Premier League.
Yeah.
A lot of players coming, Brazilians, players coming from South America, even from Europe. You don't know yet how they're going to be able to adapt their game to the Premier League. But Raphinha has proved it in the Premier League. He's rode the tough tackles. He's given as good as he's got. He's been brilliant for Leeds.
For a relegation battling club.
Yeah, and then you think about it, he was in a relegation dogfight, and that didn't faze him, and he helped Leeds get out of that dogfight. And that shows me a lot about his character. And I think he's a top player, but I just can't see Arsenal going in for Raphinha right now. I just can't see it. I'd love it to happen, but I can't see it right now when I think about all the other priorities that we have.
Exactly.
We're doing a poll. Would you be happy if we signed Raphinha? 75% of you say yes. So, you guys recognise the quality of them as well. But whether it happens or not, and let me do a couple of super chats before you get to your next point. Chatiana says, stocking up on Brazilians. I like that idea from Edu. They always appreciate as assets, but we need experienced Premier League proven players as a priority. Young Gunner says, on the topic of wingers, Robbie and Turkish, what are your options? I think he means here, what are your opinions on Sarr from Watford? I think he'd be decent last resort if we can't get Gnabry or Raphinha. I like Sarr.
I like Sarr. What wing does he play off, Sarr? Is it the right or left?
Again, I'm sure he's more off the right.
That's the issue I'm having. Like, I'm looking at our first 11 and I'm saying, what's the first things we need to do this summer? And surely striker is one and midfield is another. And then when you start looking at backups, then you might start looking at Saka's backup, Tierney's backup, Partey's backup, who the new striker's backup is.
Defensive midfield as well.
Yeah.
And I just think we need... Sarr's good, but it's not a priority right now. I agree with you. Aravind says we need a good CDM and a Giroud mode striker. What have you made of this Scamacca?
I don't know what to make.
Gianluca Scamacca from Sassuolo, 6'5".
Yeah.
Arsenal heavily linked with him. There's a lot of rumours that Arsenal put in a bid of £34 million for him, and that was rejected by Sassuolo. And they're like, come back, make it about 40 odd million, and you can have him. But again, I don't know enough about him.
Yeah, same, Rob. I've never seen him play. Only the other day for Italy, and that's my first glimpse.
Yeah, he's broken into the Italian national team.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Not the name I want to be hearing, if I'm honest with you. I need a bit more depth to the signing that we get.
Sounds too much like Scamacca, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, don't even remind me of that. Scamacca.
And he looks a bit like Scamacca.
Scamacca was probably 6'4", 6'5" as well himself.
But he's he scored 16 goals, I think it was last season. So he's
25 starts, so...
Scoring in 25 starts, I mean, that's very impressive.
It is.
And he's not playing for one of the big boys, you know what I mean? That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, the only worry is 25 starts this season, 13 starts the year before. Is there any concerns with fitness and injuries? But we'll see. Look at what Liverpool done with Nunes. One banging year, 80 million. Football's gone in that direction now, where someone has one good season and They're off for multi-million pounds.
Nunes is crazy. That's 80 million for him, what they're talking. AFC Max says Marquinhos is a fantastic, talented player. Raw in 2 years' time. He will have a higher ceiling than Vinicius Jr. Similar playing style to Raphinha. He's on about Marquinhos.
Yeah.
Finishing of Diaz at Liverpool. Well, I hope you're right with that. That'd be fantastic.
Can someone let me know what foot he is? And is he a player that plays off the right cutting in? Or is he a player that plays off the left cutting in? Or is he a player that just hugs the wings? Because I want to know that as well.
Trev says, when I saw Pepe on YouTube videos, I thought we bought the African Messi. But I realised he was not that player when he got tackled Premier League style. We need physical guys like Zaha and Gnabry.
Yeah, rough edge is necessary.
And Unknown says he's an incredible watch, Marquinhos.
The Premier League is physical. You need that rough edge.
Yep.
You need that rough edge. I always look back at David Silva and Mesut Ozil. When they come into the league, they was very similar type of players in terms of they was lightweight, soft, they was cultured on the ball, they wanted space, they wasn't very physical. But over the years, I think David Silva learnt that side of the game. He got used to the Premier League. He got a bit more robust. He had the rough edge, and that's why his Premier League career ended on a high, whereas Mesut Ozil's kind of faded off. He didn't get used to the league. So he's right, you know, you need players with rough edges, because Pepe, when I watched that, I watched him for 6 months before he signed for Arsenal, because, you know, he was causing noise in France. And I wanted him. I just didn't think we'd get him. We ended up getting him, but you're right.
Yeah,
the
he's been
physical
disappointing.
nature of the league was...
Marcos, Vinicius, Oliveira, Alan Carr.
Yeah? That's his full name.
That's his full name, Marquinhos, right? And he's right. He's an attacking right winger, but he's left-footed.
Cutting in.
So he's cutting in.
Literally Pepe and Saka mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the type of player we're getting.
See, I guess it's like for like. I guess he'll be Saka's understudy in years to come. But at the same time, sometimes you want something different from backups too. Sometimes you might want a right-footed right winger to hug the touchline and run down the wing instead. But listen, football's system-based, and like for like is what people love now.
By the way, that guy wasn't talking about Marquinhos when he says he's an incredible watch. Unknown. He was talking about Scamacca. He said he's incredible. And Jamal says, Robbie, you've gone soft on the Kroenkes and recruitment plan, coming up for them with excuses. Remember Wenger days? Bless up Turkish for maintaining. No, I haven't gone soft on it at all.
You're getting soft in your old age, Rob.
I haven't gone soft on it at all. I'm just saying that, all right, if in an ideal world, I'm going to give you what I think would be a brilliant window for Arsenal this summer. For me, this would be my window that I'd love to see. Zinchenko, as a guy can play left back and cover in the midfield.
Yeah.
Right?
And really challenge both positions.
Really challenge for 20 or 23 million is a no-brainer for me. Premier League experience, quality player.
He is good.
It makes sense. Basuma, who'd be available for probably about 25 million pounds.
Forgotten man.
No-brainer. Wants to come to Arsenal as well. We lack a defensive midfielder. Perfect. Right? Jesus.
Yep.
Perfect. Tielemans. Be very happy with that.
Yep.
And then somebody like a Serge Gnabry.
Yeah, that's the
a
icing.
killer. If we got that, I'd be happy with that. Will we get that? We should be getting things like that. I don't see when you break down those players and how much they cost. Why not?
So what's that? Zinchenko, Jesus, Tielemans.
Zinchenko, Basuma, Jesus, Tielemans, and Serge Gnabry.
Yeah, that's a very, very strong
added to
window.
what we've got makes us a very good team, and that's why I'd say I wouldn't be because with the Raphinha thing, there's players there that can cover that. You've got Pepe. That's if we keep him, but you've got Pepe can play on the right, and you've of course got Saka can play on the right. You've even got other players that you could possibly put onto that right-hand side to play, like
Reece Nelson's back.
Reece Nelson's back, you know what I mean? So, much as I'd love a Raphinha, I mean, if with super spending, yes. But that for me would be a great window. What would your great window be?
I think you've just said it there. It's you need to be realistic with it as well, and I think that is realistic. And I know people will say Gnabry's not realistic, but I think, you know,
Gnabry's realistic. If you put the money down on the table, I know. All right, probably if you're in competition with a club that's probably going to come along and say, right, we're going to give. If it's a top club and they can offer him, you know, Champions League football,
Real Madrid, City,
they'll get him. They'll get him because we ain't got that. But I do believe that if we put the money down on the table and we said to Gnabry, this is the project. This is where I call into question this whole project thing.
Yes.
Because if you put that project down on the table and you say, this is the project, Serge, you was at Arsenal before and we want you to spearhead the project as a world-class player, he'd come. Yeah, we mentioned it yesterday with James. I said, you know, it's easier to sell dreams to us fans than it is to players. That's what it is. That's very true.
You know, I want to see Gnabry jump onto the wave, and then I might trust it a bit more.
Yeah. See, you can sell it to us, but when you're talking to them players, they want to see the plan in full.
Yeah.
Who you bringing in? Who you going to put around me? So I don't think I'm going soft at all. I trust me. Marco says, I want to see Arsenal challenge for the title. We're struggling to keep up, and we need big signings. These links don't feel like enough. Kroneke out. AFC Max says, Marquinhos can hold the ball up and has passing ability of Martin Odegaard. He's omni-footed and can play on both wings too. So that's interesting. That's Ed says 7 to 8 years ago, we wouldn't even look at players we're linked to today. What a drop in expectations. Shame on us. I wouldn't agree with that entirely because we buy players sometimes what people didn't even really...
We've never been a team to go out and take the best players in the world. We've never been that team, even at the top of our game. So, but I get what he's saying as well.
Wayne says, Robbie, the other day you asked, when was the last time we were excited about the signing? Wasn't that when you was doing the Partey dance? Partey. I was excited about the Partey signing. Partey himself signing, but I wasn't excited about the window. So maybe I should rephrase that. When I say excited, I mean overall, the overall window. I'm like, yo, can't wait to see Tielemans. I hate him. Oh man, that's what I call excitement. Not just one player. You know,
and that signing came when the season had already started.
Yeah,
you mean like you want before the season starts? We are excited about going into the season with this current crop of players.
Yeah,
not wait 2-3 games and then maybe sign someone else.
Yeah, Benny says Barcelona looking to sell Dest for the cheap. Dest on the cheap. A Serginho Dest. Yeah. We should really look at him. Young USA star. Benny would be saying that. Benny's our big USA guy. Who is very attacking and can play both right wing and right back. Loads of potential. He's a very good player. Steve Stringer, and when another super chat there says, horrible feeling it will be underwhelming again, boys. We need a lot of quality to compete.
I've got that feeling, you know.
Yeah, I know you'd have that feeling. Wookie Sem says, yo, Robbie, I heard Troops throwing shots at the Daily Transfer Show. He don't know what it is to put the work in, day out. You tell him. You tell that Troops, it's hard work. Hey, Troops, it's hard work, you know, bro. Right? Big up to you lead by example. Now, big up Troops as well. And Contro Scholar says... the list that Robbie just said, can we get them for 150 to 165 mil?
Yep.
Doable? I think so. And do you know what? I want everybody, if you get a chance, to watch the Invincible podcast that's coming out tomorrow. Me and Lee Judges. I don't want to give them much away, but I'm going to sort of say a little bit of what we said to you, Turkish, right? I look at Stan Kroenke, what he's doing with the LA Rams. He took that team, first of all, he moved them from St. Louis to LA, very controversially. He's built a brand new stadium. If you've never seen that stadium, I'd say, you know, people talk about the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It makes that look like a garage. It's like unbelievable, the most expensive stadium in the world, our owner has built, yeah? And then not only that, in that stadium, he's put together the best NFL team there is. They won the Super Bowl last season. A couple of years before that, they got to the final, didn't quite make it. He went out and strengthened so that they could win it. And then this season, what he's done is that a couple of the players, I think it's the quarterback. No, not the quarterback. One of the wide receivers, Cup.
Yeah.
and one of the defensive players. He's given them the biggest ever contracts, right? Ever, apart from whatever a quarterback's received, right? And do you know why he's done that? Because he wants to win it again. He's building that team to win. Why doesn't he not do the same sort of thing with Arsenal? Right? And you can draw parallels between LA Rams and Arsenal in that both clubs are huge. Both clubs are in a massive city, LA and London. Mm-hmm. Does he show the same ambition when it comes to Arsenal that he shows with the LA Rams? And we talk about it a lot on the show. And I don't know, well, I know what you think. That's the problem here. Why are we moaning? That guy's just said it there. 150, 65 mil doable. And even if you're going to talk about, because a lot of times when we talk about signings, we forget about the wage part of it. But Tielemans ain't going to be mega wages. Mm-hmm. Nor is Gabriel Jesus. Well, Gabriel Jesus will be big wages, probably about 190,000 a week, they're saying. If you've got a Gnabry, that's a 250
minimum.
But remember, we just got rid of Lacazette's wages, £170,000 a week. We got rid of Aubameyang's wages, £300,000 a week. Bellerin's going to go. That's 100 grand a week. Kolasinac went 100 grand a week. We've got rid of some really high earners. Why is it not doable?
It's the care, Rob. That's it. He's American. It's like us owning Arsenal and us owning LA Rams. What are we going to care more about? We're going to care more about Arsenal.
Then sell it. Yeah, Rob, if you don't care about it, then sell it, or even sell a part of it. And just have a bit, because there's no point in, we want to win. All we're concerned with here is winning the Premier League, or challenging to win the Premier League, challenging for the Champions League, challenging for the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. That's what we want to see our team doing.
But look at him
and you're only going to do that if you get the players.
With the Rams, he went and collected the trophy, right? And I know the Super Bowl is not the Europa League, but when we was in the Europa League final, he wasn't there. So if we did win it, he didn't even care to come get the trophy. Josh, I think, was there in his place. But it just shows Stan cares about what he cares about. And being an American, he's going to care about American sports more. But in terms of an asset, we are a top 2 asset for him. Maybe top 2, top 3, maybe top 1. I don't know the numbers, but we are a top asset.
I remember a couple of seasons ago, before the pandemic, and I was in America, and this American gooner said to me, very famously, he goes, "Robbie, do you know what his most successful team is?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Arsenal."
Yeah.
That was until the LA Rams won the Super Bowl. And as I said, before they won the Super Bowl, they got to a final as well. So they've been knocking on the door, and that's because of the investment he's made into the players.
He built on it.
That's what, maybe Benny and these guys can, some of the American guys out there can explain it to us better, because you guys know the NFL better than me. But from what I understand, he's put a heavy investment into that team, and it's paying dividends. Mm-hmm. And like that guy said, what we're saying is a contra shula, it says. Robbie, I repeat what he said. Robbie, the list that you just said, we can get them for 150 to 165 million. Doable, I think so.
Yeah, 100%, Rob.
It's not a madness, is it?
You add a few player sales into that as well, because
and we'll be selling players.
A year left. Who else? Jesus got a year left. That's 2 players already.
Gnabry's got a year left.
Yeah. Who else was it?
Zinchenko's got a year left. It's all players that are vulnerable, and you can get for good money because they're in the last year of their contracts.
100%. I mean, look, Bayern sold Thiago after a man of the match Champions League final performance for 25 mil because he had a year left.
And look how good he's been. And that's when you bring in quality. Look at Liverpool with what they've been doing. They've been bringing in quality. Bringing Diaz, quality. Mm-hmm. Right?
Proactive as well. Liverpool.
Proactive.
They knew Mane is going to go at the end of the year. I'm sure Mane told Klopp, we'll save it to the end of the year, but I'm going to go. And Klopp decided to bring Diaz in and, proactively replace him, so they don't have to panic in the summer.
So I don't think we're being unreasonable. It's what, and I don't want to give away too much. I really want you guys to watch that show. But as I said, it's what the ambition is. Oliver says, don't forget the Avalanche are in the Stanley Cup final.
Okay,
that's the Avalanche. That's the ice hockey team, isn't it?
I think so.
Stanley Cup is the big you know, is the big trophy that is, and it is a massive trophy that is. That's what you win for the NFL. So sorry, for the NHL. He's in the final of that. Young Gunner says, no matter what the Kroenkes do this summer, I will still never let them off the hook for a decade of neglect. Don't mean to be negative, but it's true. Our business has been shambolic. Well, you know what? I will put that aside if they start acting in the right and proper way when it comes to Arsenal Football Club. I don't want to hear because they're showing me that they can do it with the other teams. I didn't even know that Avalanche was in the
and then you look
final. And Benny says it as well. Avalanche are in the final right now too. We're up next. Well, I hope you're right.
And then you look at Tottenham. Remember the first week the season finished, you heard about 150 million cash injection.
Yeah.
You know, if the owners can do something if they want to do it.
Yeah. Gonna get better says, do you think Raphinha could be converted to a striker? I was thinking that the other day, you know.
Not for me. I like him running at players.
Yeah, you do like him running at players, but could he be maybe a...
Not for me. Not for
no?
me. No.
All right.
You got to think, on the wings, he's coming against fullbacks. In the middle, he's coming against centre-backs, and centre-backs are big figures, and he'll get bullied there, in my opinion.
Salah don't when he plays almost centre.
Yeah, but the thing about
Jota,
Liverpool
those guys like.
They have so much threats, Liverpool, that in certain time they're in space because the oppositions don't know who to double up on. At Arsenal, it's double up on Saka, and that's it.
Wayne says, Robbie, I hear you on the LA Rams, but we cannot compare player acquisition in American sports to European football. It's very, very different. It is, Wayne. It is different in that you don't pay a mega transfer fee, but you do pay these crazy wages. And I was looking at some of the monies that they're having to fork out for Cup, that they're having to fork out for the I've forgotten his name now, the defensive player, and so, you know, and how they've had to put that team together, forego draft picks and that to put a team together that can win now.
You said one extension. One was a 3-year extension for 80 million, and one was a 2-year deal for 65 million.
Yeah.
Imagine
dollars.
that.
Yeah. Cool Guy says no one cares about the Rams in LA. Same as the Chargers. Well, one person who does care about the Rams in LA is Stan Kroenke. And I want him to care about us in the same way. Benny says I'm a massive NHL and NFL fan. I can tell you he's doing now with Arsenal what he did with them. It took years to build back up. I'd be glad to explain it. I'd love to. You know what, Benny? I'd love to get you on to explain it. We're gonna have to get you on to explain it because we don't see it fully. You know, maybe you can explain it to us and then we can feel better about this. So I'd love you, Benny. We're going to have to hook it up one time that we can get you on live so you could explain it. Dare to Go to says, the amount of money the Rams have spent has been jaw-dropping in NFL circles. There's a salary cap in the NFL and he's found ways to spend around it.
And that's what I'm saying to all these people over the years when they tell me, you know, our owners are not as rich as... I know Kroneke is not as rich as Manchester City's owners, but he is rich. And there is a FFP in place, and one thing that the Manchester City owners do, and even Liverpool and owners across, they manipulate the market. They manipulate things, whether it's an investment from a company that they own a little share of somewhere else. They do things that allow them to spend a little bit more. Even Tottenham's 150 million injection. I wonder how that came about. So Kroneke could do the same things over here, but he just doesn't care enough.
Wayne says Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, was an assistant coach before he was the head coach, like Arteta. Okay.
That's the next dream people are trying to sell me now. You've done it there. It's going to be the same here. It doesn't work like that.
Aslan says, do you guys read credible reports? Gnabry's issue with Bayern is that he wants 20 million a year salary. Otherwise, he would sign. Why would he go to Arsenal? Maybe they'd match that money.
Well, I don't think that...
That's why.
I've read
money.
I've read otherwise with Gnabry.
Why those guys go to do that golf at the moment? Money talks.
I've read that Gnabry, obviously, he wants to be a bit more... feel a bit more important in the side, and he maybe wants the striker's role as well. I just feel like with a year left, he's won it all with Bayern. So I think it's a new challenge he's after, because I believe they offered him 300k a week, and not many clubs are going to offer you much more than that unless you're going to a PSG or a Man City, which neither have shown a real interest. So I don't know.
Listen, we're not saying we're going to get Gnabry. We're saying we should be in for Gnabry, certainly. And 3P King says, De Jong to United proves you can still get quality. It's 100% true, you know. Jed Spence to Spurs done for 20 million, says Avi Troops. I'm not sure if that's confirmed. There is rumours that Spurs do want him, though.
Moves are being made elsewhere then.
Yeah, Joe Blogs here. Oh, I was just about to read that. Continue talking, I'll find back.
Yeah, well, obviously, the list of Arsenal's released players came out today as well, and there's no surprises there, but Eddie's name is on the list, and in brackets it says talks are ongoing about the contract, which is interesting because a few weeks ago it seemed like it was pretty much a done deal, 100k, 5 years, and I'm sure Arsenal would have liked to go into this transfer window announcing the extension, not putting him on the release list, and in brackets saying still talks ongoing. You know what? I actually hope Eddie Nketiah rejects the contract. I actually hope that he does move on.
You don't want him on.
Well, I don't want him, and I also don't believe it's best for him. Listen, we done the same with Maitland-Niles. This club last year held on to Maitland-Niles, saying we're going to give you game time. And what did we do? We let him go on.
This is a bit different though. If they're offering him $100,000 a week, I think the deal will be done. I just think it's not. You know, as I saw, you know, as a lot of people pointed out the other day, the poster came out for that game in Nuremberg, and he's on it.
Yeah.
Why would they do that sort of stuff if they didn't have full confidence? You know, it's just not been confirmed yet. I think that deal's going to get done. And also, why would they come out and say, you know, because today now, you have to say who you're releasing as players.
But what do you think?
I don't know. But I just
wants
get
more than 100k. You think he wants a number 14?
It could be. Maybe he wants 150.
Yeah. Will you still sit here and argue with me that it's worth it?
No, I wouldn't. Where's that other super chat that was here? Jimmy GNYC says, Turkish and Robbie, first much love to both of you from Westchester, New York. Big up. He says, believe Arsenal should look more into South American for players. Places like Colombia, Uruguay, Argentina. Example, Diaz for Liverpool.
Yeah, I love South American players. There's a certain grit, you know, connected to South American players, the rough edge as well. And I think that bodes well for Premier League more often than not.
And Carlos says, will you be attending the Orlando games in July? I also agree with Turkish that Nketiah should move on. Well, I'll let you into a secret. We're trying to sort out accommodation before we came onto the stream today. So we are looking to come out to Orlando.
Come on.
Can't wait.
First time in America as well.
Your first time?
My first time. It's mad.
Oh, wow. That'd be good.
Yeah, want to enjoy.
Good place to watch football, tell you. They really know how to put on a show out there in America. Do you know the other day I was having a conversation with somebody and I said, what if the Americans really get hold of football? Like, I mean, really.
They're trying.
What if they really get hold of football, yeah? And so there was two people I was looking at. I was like, the Americans, or say somebody like the Saudis or the Qataris or something, really said, you know what, we're going to football big.
Yeah, take over.
Yeah? But I think in particular America, because they got the TV and stuff like that. Could you see a time when instead of players looking at the Premier League, because at the moment all the money's in the Premier League, so all the players want to come here, they go to America instead to play?
Probably not in my lifetime. It'll take a lot for that to happen.
Do you know what?
But I could see them bringing entities of the Super Bowl into this league and football and halftime shows and so on. Wasn't there a recent show recently? Was it the Champions League final? Someone was singing and they moaned about Liverpool fans singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" over the top. Yeah,
but those are just little. I'm on about what if those teams in America like really go serious, pump the money in. As I said, they got the TV. All of a sudden, like became like a Premier, like the Premier League, where they sell the rights all over the world, and start attracting the big players. So, you know, Messi, all these guys start. Well, no, maybe some players that are in their prime. Mbappe goes to join Inter Miami, and players like that, and they start going there, and the money they get there is bigger, and the TV stuff. Don't discount it, man. If America get hold of this, I'll tell you.
They'll try, but also the thing about American sports in general, I don't know if this is down to football as well, but they have a fairer way of doing it. The salary caps, the draft picks, it allows for, you know, every team to compete. At
it's a fairer system.
I don't know how they'd come in and compete with this monster at the moment fairly.
Yeah, gonna get better says, I really believe we are deploying Moneyball tactics, signing players only on stats like the Brad Pitt movie. I've said it since Arteta came along. Eric says, Robbie, Matthew Stafford, the LA Rams quarterback, is on 160 million for 4 years, 130 million guaranteed. The Kronkes has been our owners for years. No excuses.
Yeah.
First, Orisha says the Rams are also being sued for 790 million due to illegal relocation of the Rams. They also happen to be in the division where oppositions are crap or rebuilding while dishing out mega contracts to aging players like Aaron Donald, all at Arsenal's expense. That's the name of the guy, Aaron Donald, who they've given a mega ownership. Fergus says ridiculous in the NFL. Ownership is different in American sports compared to soccer. Football, Fergus. Football. And True Gunner One says, Robbie, that will never happen. It just passed. That will never happen. That will never happen in America because the Americans are not crazy over soccer. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. There's a massive following. You'll see it when you go out there.
It's been building.
Massive following, but it's for the Premier League and La Liga and things like that. But if they ever got hold of it,
yeah,
watch out.
You know they'd love to.
And I was just looking at that whole thing to do with the golf. What's going on at the moment, where the Saudi Arabians are coming and they've offered some of these golfers mega money, and some of the golfers have come off the PGA Tour to join this Saudi-backed live tournament and stuff like that. And I'm like, what if something like that ever happened in football? I remember the Chinese sort of tried it, and they did attract some players. But I think if it'd be different in, say, football if it was like in America. I don't know. Nothing's forever. Here. Nothing's forever.
Oh yeah, it goes in like in the 90s when I was growing up. Channel 4 Golazzo, Serie A was
the
the most
that?
Dominant league.
Yeah.
Players in the world.
Yeah, Italia.
Then it went to Spain, La Liga, Premier League, and so on. It kind of, it swings and roundabouts. That's what happened.
Owen Campbell says, Robbie, you have a strong heart and head, my G. I can't believe any rumours. I can't believe any news. Don't believe anything until you see the player holding up that shirt. And AFC Max says, Turkish is like my angry Liverpool uncle, always bantering me following Arsenal, like Turkish bantering toys on the big six. Tobes on the big six. Love you, my guy, from Australia. And Carlos says, it's awesome to see you guys will attend. I had the honour of running into Ty when I was in London. Hope I have a luxury meeting with the Don himself. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to meeting as many fans out there as possible, and it will be absolutely brilliant out there in the States.
I can't wait.
It'll be fantastic. But here's one for you. FERNDOG 3000 says, any replacement for Xhaka?
What do you mean?
I don't think Xhaka's going anywhere this.
But I hope he does. But I hope he does every window, and it just doesn't happen. So it's like banging my head against the wall. I just don't see it happening now. After that new contract, and after what was the interview where he said he wants to achieve great things here? We're stuck with him till he's about 50, because I don't know when we're going to be doing great things. But at this moment in time, we're far from doing great things. So yeah, those words didn't resonate.
I just look at some of the, just thinking about some of the signings and it. God, the Basuma. Come on, man. It's a no-brainer, is it?
Even Neves, no one's tested the waters with Neves. Just try and do some things. Arsenal, come on. Not another window where we're looking back saying shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. Red White Pappy 93 says, any event you guys are doing in the US, Rob? Well, we haven't got nothing planned yet, but I'm sure we will. Yeah. Benny says, US TV funds the EPL. Hopefully you guys hit up New York. Again, it's a mega deal in New York. A mega deal in America for the Premier League. It's massive.
Yeah.
And Shrev says, Robbie, I want to be optimistic, but in just 3 seasons, everything in the Premier League has changed. It was United, Liverpool and Chelsea. Now it's the big 7. And sadly, we've got 8th at the end with kids. Well, we're in 5th.
Yeah. Well,
we're the 5th best team in the Premier League this season.
Well, last season now.
Last season, last season.
On to next season, and we'll see where we finish then.
By the way, I love the fact that you still got your paper.
Come on, listen, old school. I told you.
Listen,
I told you.
You could get
next live. I'm doing with you. I'm bringing my iPad here, my Mac here. I might even bring my desktop here and still use paper. That's
the thing. You've got an iPad.
Yeah.
You got a Mac laptop.
Yep.
What's with the paper thing?
I like writing, Rob. I'm gonna write a book one day, people. So look out for that. I'm gonna write a book, an expose on everything. So make sure you look out for
expose?
that. Yeah. Robbie's
what are you exposing?
Robbie's gonna be at the top of that list.
What are you exposing, bro?
The whole lot.
Is that right?
Yeah, the whole lot. How Robbie treats us in the office. How he makes James feel upstairs. Listen, James is wiping tears away upstairs. The pressure that he's under.
Keep me out of that book, man. Don't mention me in that book. And I don't like how you're trying to paint me.
That'll be a big seller.
And people out there believe that. You know that.
Come on, they know I love you. They know I love you, man.
But I love I said it last time, man. I told people, man, look, it's so neat.
Decent, isn't it?
Honestly, it's neat. Look,
decent.
Neat handwriting, man.
Yeah, come on.
I'm impressed. My handwriting's all over the place, man. That is neat handwriting, bro.
So I might as well make use of it, innit?
You must,
I might as well make use
Carlos says the Turkish book will be out before Xhaka leaves.
Oh, mate. There'll be so much stress in that book. I can't lie. People were reading it saying, why is this guy so negative?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I got one more bit on Paul. Well, not on Paul Merson, but Paul Merson did have a quote saying Arsenal should make a cheeky 60 million bid for Lukaku this summer. If Chelsea are so desperate to let him go that they're talking about loaning him to Inter, surely they would take the money. Arsenal haven't had someone who is big and strong and dynamic like that since Kevin Campbell. I know he hasn't scored a lot of goals this season, but Lukaku is an elite goal scorer. Arsenal play great football up until the edge of the box, but then it often fizzles out. Arsenal go through the lines. They want their striker on the edge of the box. It would suit him.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Last summer I would have taken Lukaku, and I think this summer, would I take him? Well, yes. When I'm hearing Eddie Nketiah is going to be our second choice striker, yes, I would take Lukaku. Lukaku and Jesus as your options.
I'd take Lukaku. I'm just trying to think
how it would work, but
would he suit?
Who knows? Because what would suit it? That's my problem. Scamacca is different to Jesus, but we're linked to both. Vahovic is different to both of those. Well, a bit more like Scamacca, let's say. But I don't know.
You know what? I'll take Lukaku. Yeah, I would. I think he's a better player than what we saw last season. Mm-hmm. You know, I think he's a great target man player. He'd be an absolute handful down there. He just had a rotten season, didn't he? And I don't think the manager fancies him there.
Yeah. But he didn't help himself. Don't get me wrong.
He didn't help himself. No. But he was brilliant at Inter.
Yeah.
He was unplayable sometimes. Yeah.
And he's banged in this league.
You know what? That's not a bad shout. It just
come down to him. Would he come to a team not in Champions
League?
Well,
I don't think they'd sell him to us anyway. Because imagine if they sold him to us and then they started banging in the goals.
They still need to make up for the Ashley Cole, so...
Yeah, they've got loads to make up for. Shrev says, Robbie and Turkish show AFTV Unfiltered. Now, we're getting that show together.
Another option.
We're getting that show together. Obviously, Kieran says, Lukaku is washed in the Premier League.
Seems so. But if I ask you, who would you take as your second choice striker, Lukaku or Eddie Nketiah? I hope the answer is Lukaku, people. If it's not, then yeah.
Franklin Goodwin says, if today is the last time we see Turkish, we know why. You don't expose the Don's business practices without swimming with the fishes.
Hey, we're not.
I like that
one. Little do they know, the book's written already, people.
Oh, man. I'll tell you guys are brilliant today. Turkish, if the owners, IUP says, Turkish, if the owners spend 200 million this transfer window, would you sweeten resentments towards them?
It's not just about spending it, it's about making sure it works as well. You know, we spent 150 last summer, we spent 140 in 2019, and we ended up 8th twice, last summer 5th. So, yes, 200 million is a necessary investment, in my opinion, but also, is it going to be like the 6 players we bought last year where they're a good base foundation, but no real star quality? Or is that 200 million going to be one side and then 500k of wages on the other side goes towards the players? It's a mix. And at the end of the day, it's about success, challenging and being at the top. The window will provide that, but the season will tell me how it's working.
Arvin said, I feel a proper CDM and Scamacca is a must. Well, if it came down to Scamacca and Lukaku, I'd rather have Lukaku.
Yeah, same.
You know?
Same.
Avik says, talking about Chelsea, how about Jorginho or Kante?
No, not Jorginho for me. That guy's just...
They have Kante, though.
I'll take Kante, yeah. Even though he's been inconsistent this season, I'll definitely take Kante. Kante he's a Premier League legend.
Who's Mehdi Taremi? I don't know. Bintang's suggesting he's a quality striker, but I don't really know him, to be honest. And Asensio, Gnabry, and Isco. That's another player on a free.
Isco, yeah.
It's a myth, innit, Isco, man. He's available on a free. I was going through earlier.
Oh yeah.
Some of the players that are available on some of the players that have been released
this season.
In the Premier League. Didn't really look at Europe. So Pogba, obviously. James Tarkowski.
I would have taken Pogba.
I would have. Great player.
Better than Tielemans, better than Xhaka, better than...
You're going to come to Arsenal and do more than what he did at United? Or would it be more of the same?
That's the problem.
Because he's got everything,
That's the risk, yeah. Would Arteta work well with him?
Christensen's going to Barcelona, but...
Yeah.
James Tarkowski, who's supposed to be signing for Everton.
Yeah, that's it, Everton, Lampard, yeah.
29 years old, centre-back.
No? He's had a good reputation. Listen... What's our centre-backs this year? We got Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White. I'd replace Holden with Tarkowski, yes, but it's not a priority in my list.
Experienced player.
Yeah.
Lingard.
Yeah,
right.
Dance somewhere
Ericsson.
else. Ericsson's quality. I can't lie to Ericsson's
probably
quality.
End up at Tottenham, but...
Yeah, I've had links to United as well, but Ericsson, he might even stay at Brentford if they can pull it out the bag.
Some of the other players released. Roman Saiss at Wolves.
That's an interesting one.
Centre-back. I didn't realise he's 32, though. Jeffrey Schlupp at
Premier
Palace. Daniel Amati. Say centre-back. He's more of a midfield player, isn't it? Ben Mee.
Ben Mee's been released.
Ben Mee at...
yeah, Burnley.
Burnley.
The captain, isn't it?
Yeah, released.
Right, that's the last of Burnley.
Well, his contract's up. Kouyaté. Check Kouyaté at Palace. His contract's come up. Yarmolenko.
Another one.
Contract up. Fabian Delph. Danny Welbeck.
Good old Danny.
Jan Marquinhos.
How old is he now? Yeah,
he's 35 now.
He's been quality for them, though.
Cenk Tosun. The Turkish...
cool. Cenk. Come on. He didn't do much in the league, though.
He collected a lot of money at
at
Everton, didn't he? Fernandinho, he's going back to Brazil.
Yeah,
but Fernandinho's another player that's been released. I mean, some players here. Danny Drinkwater. Jeez, did he collect some money?
Posted from Chelsea.
Did he collect some money? Aaron Lennon. I didn't realise Aaron Lennon was 35 as well.
Yeah,
but he's been released. Shane Long, 35. Southampton. Didn't realise he's that age as well. He's been released. Ben Foster, backup goalkeeper.
He needs to just...
39 now, though. But he got released. Scott Carson, he literally sat on the bench at Man City the whole year. But he's been released now. Willie Caballero's been released as well. And Gylfi Sigurdsson, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He's had that court case looming for a long, long time. He's been released. I mean, wow. So that's just some of the players that have been released.
End of a little era.
And I know you had some news on Ainsley.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest have been linked to Ainsley. Someone in the chat mentioned DJ Spence and Tottenham potentially being close, finalised, whatever. We haven't checked it out yet. But Nottingham Forest will... Having come into the Premier League and DJ Spence being a big part of that, will need a new right back, and maybe that's where they're seeing Ainsley Maitland-Niles fitting in that right back position.
Forest, yeah, maybe.
Listen, 10 million, come and get him. Whether it's Forest, whether it's Palace, Wolves, I don't care who it is. 10 million. Let's just get some money for our players.
He is a guy we've messed around for a long time. You are right.
And that's the same with Eddie. You know, I'm thankful for Eddie's 5 goals. It didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve at the end, but listen, you're not going to be the striker you want to be at this club.
He deserves a deal
from another club.
I think it's a snip.
All right, cool. Well, we might be here in 4 years, and I'm just saying, like...
They signed into a 5-year contract to protect the value of the player. What if he comes in next season, if he plays next season and scores 20 goals? And then, let's say, I'll give you this scenario. He scores 20 goals, and then Chelsea or someone like that coming from, you be the first one crying. You see, this is what I mean with Arsenal. As usual, they've done it again. You know what I mean? Now he's leaving for 10 million. Why did we sign him on? That'd be you.
But 20 goals.
That's why they've signed him on a 5-year deal.
But you've just read me out basically a Disney story about 20 goals from Eddie Nketiah, and then said how I'm going to act off the back of the story.
He scored 5 in a couple of months.
I get that, but is Eddie going to start 25 games in the league for Arsenal? Is he? He's not.
You never know.
But then that's okay. You never know, and if he does and he proves me wrong, I'm happy about that. I'm happy. But at the end of the day,
all right. Realistically, suppose he scores 15 goals next season. Would that have been a good buy? Would he have been worth signing for that $100,000?
What, in the league? 15?
In the league?
Yeah.
If he scores 15
yeah,
goals.
I mean, we bought a 50 million player from Lyon, and he only managed 15.
Right, so mark that down, guys. Why can't he? If he scored 5 in that short space of time, why couldn't he score 15?
Because he's not going to play as many games as he thinks he's going to play, in my opinion.
Why not?
The same reasons he hasn't played many games for Arsenal already. He's not good enough. He only all of a sudden became good enough in May 2022, and in June we're giving him a new contract.
He scored 5 goals in that short. Mikel Arteta said, he even came out and said, I feel a bit bad for Eddie because I haven't really given him a chance. He gave him his chance. He delivered. He scored 5 goals in 2 months. Why couldn't he score 15 in the season? If he scored 15 in a season, we ain't paid a transfer fee for him. We're paying him $100,000 a week, I know. But that's the going rate. Why wouldn't that be a good deal? Why does that not make sense?
It would if he gets that amount. If he gets that amount, it's justified.
And why can't he? Why can't he get it?
Because he's not going to get the game time, Rob. He's not going to get it. He's not.
Eddie, don't let me down, but I'm going to bet you now.
What?
50 quid, he gets 15 goals.
Premier League goals.
15 Premier League goals.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
Eddie.
I'm Look what you've done to the Don, Eddie. Look
15
what you've
goals.
done. He's down bad, I'm telling you. He's down bad.
Owen Campbell says, Eddie 20 goals, Robbie a.k.a. Ty Jr.
Ty Jr.
And Johnny says, honestly, we need to get better players, mix experience with the young uns, and see magic. I'm in Munich. Give me Gnabry's agent's number. Well, we'd love to do that, mate. Troy M says, in the US we play NFL, NBA, LMB and NHL, but that's quickly changing. When it does, I don't think our league will challenge the Premier League, but our better athletes will start to play football. And when it happens, the national team will be strong. Alkan24 says, Turkish is depressed because he probably supports Fenerbahce in Turkey.
I do.
Are you Fener?
I do. I actually do. Fener, Arsenal, Turkey, Republic of Ireland, and you wonder why I'm the way I am, people. You wonder why I am the way I am. It's pain all round.
Oh, you got Mesut Ozil still?
Oh, mate, have you seen what's happened to him over there?
Yeah. Johnny says, honestly, we need to get better players, mix experience with the young uns. Oh yeah, sorry, I just did that one. But yeah, listen, Eddie, don't let me down, man.
I'm up.
I'll put my reputation on the line now. Right?
Someone clip that and put it on somewhere so I remember it come next year. Otherwise, you're going to get away with it. Thank you, production.
Harry says, Don already £50 short for the US trip.
Next year, the pre-season.
Lynch 616 says, Ty wearing a Robbie shirt or Robbie 8 tie. The easiest £50 you'll ever make, says Gaz T.
Trust me.
Right, Turkish. Robbie, you just got robbed, says Kevin.
Robbed? He gave me the money.
Listen, man.
He gave it to me. And
he scored 5 goals in such a short space of time. Mm-hmm. Why can't he score? 15 goals, I can see him doing it. Honestly.
I'll happily give you 50 if he scores 15, because that will be, I'm sure that will be
part of the good season. I think he'll play. I think he'll play quite a few games, especially. I feel early in the season, especially. I feel he'll play quite a few games. I feel that when, let's just say, for instance, we sign Gabriel Jesus, he'll probably go to the World Cup. So so coming back from the World Cup, it'd be more or less guys like Eddie and that will start more games because those players will have to recoup.
Eddie's going with Ghana though. Maybe.
Oh yeah, he might be going with Ghana. That's true. He might be signing for.
Yeah.
He might be playing for Ghana.
Yeah. If that.
Shref says Robbie's logic. Eddie scored 5 goals in 6 to 7 matches. That way, in 38 games, he'll score like 30, like Messi. He's not going to play that much. Get real. I ain't saying he's going to score 30. I said 15. Right, 15 I think he can get. Gonna get better says Eddie could beat Tammy Abraham. Love from Ireland. Remember that? When Chris Hudson was saying, let's sign Tammy Abraham, everyone's slagging him off. Not good enough, but look what he's done.
In hindsight, Tammy would have been better than nothing.
Right, we're doing a little poll here before the show finishes, right? Will Eddie score 15 goals next season? At the moment, only 128 of you voted because we just put it up, but so far, 33% of you say yes. The rest of you are saying no. 67% are saying no.
Bet all of them 67%, 50 each as well.
And Clayton says Newcastle are coming. They've outbid Milan for Sven Botman.
Yeah,
the Botman
that.
who we were linked with this morning. They were after Sven Botman from in January.
Newcastle, you know, they're...
Newcastle got untold money. Their owners.
I hear that they've cut... Listen, I hear that they've
They
shown
are coming.
some interest in Jesus as well. So
They're coming. They are coming.
Yeah.
I agree with that guy. They are
trying to
coming.
flex.
They're going to be a serious threat. Bintang says Eddie to have a breakout season like Harry Kane did years ago.
and I'll pay Robbie £50 and Arsenal will be in a good place. I'll happily give him £50.
AFC Max says, Robbie, did you hear that Martin Odegaard is going to be the next captain of Arsenal? And he says, Turkish, easy 50 quid, mate. I believe 15 in all competitions.
I'll try to change the bet now. You said league. Because you're
I said Premier League. Yep, cool. I'm sticking with that.
Cool. If he signs right now, he hasn't even signed yet. But
I think he's going to sign. Eddie scored 10 in 27 appearances in all comps last season. How many games did he play?
And how many starts was that? I think he started 8 in the league. 8 in the league. Yeah.
He'll get 15 goals if we don't sign a first-team striker, says Goofer. Chris Lord says Willock scored 8 in 10. Where was the backing behind that?
Right, all right, when he went to Newcastle. But then we got 25 mil for him, and then he scored 1 in 20 next. So,
well, we'll see. We'll see.
You're down £50, Rob. It's mad. A year from now, we're gonna be sitting here just exchanging.
On, Eddie, don't let me down, Eddie, man. Come on, man. I'm backing Eddie and Ketcher to score 15 Premier League goals next season.
I hope he does. Because that's better for Arsenal. And if he doesn't, £50 in the back pocket. Win-win.
And Aravind says our winger's target needs to be revised. How many goals did Saka score last season?
11 in the league.
Eddie can't score 15 as a centre forward.
No.
All right.
Cool. I'll meet you same place, same time next year, Rob. Yeah.
Ash says I don't want Eddie to play for us, but re-signing him is good business for Arsenal. £100,000 a week is $5 million, and we can sell him for 15 to 20 million next year. If it don't work out, very true.
We could have sold him for 15 to 20 last year, but we didn't. Or the year before that, we didn't. So people think we're going to do next year. I don't know why, but we've missed that already.
He finished the season well.
He did.
Still, nearly 1,000 of you are voting now, and it's still showing that most of you think he won't do that.
That's why you're hanging on now. You want that you want the yes to go up.
69%, 68% no. 32% says yes, he can score 15 Premier League goals.
All right, cool. You lot better help Robbie out. How much percent? You lot help Robbie out next year with the payment. I'll put my PayPal in the description, people. Yeah.
You lot a bad mind, man. You lot a bad mind. Come on, man. Give him a little back in here. He got 5 goals and 1 assist in just 8 starts. Good numbers, says Billy.
Yeah, I'll bet Billy too if he wants to PayPal me and DM me or do something.
Oh, jeez.
Could be a rich man this time next year.
All right, well, listen, we're coming to the end of the show now, isn't it?
Another good one, man. Yeah, basically the last bit of news, if that, people Guendouzi is more or less gone. It's official with Marseille. It was an obligation in the loan deal last year, silly obligation at that when you consider his improvement, his development, and he's part of the France side. To lose him for 9 million, another poor showing of business from Arsenal. But I see a lot of people online talking about bringing him back. We can't bring him back.
No,
it's done. It's done, people. So Guendouzi is no longer an Arsenal player, and that's it.
And I hope that £9 million goes towards Tielemans. You know,
it goes somewhere.
Yeah. Wayne Sage says, good bet, Robbie. I'm $100 richer because people bet me that Arsenal would not finish above Man United last season after the transfer window last summer. There you go. Aravin says, I did that one. And Ash says, I don't want Eddie to play. Oh, no, sorry, I did that one as well. Mustafi Shoelaces says, theoretically, he could. United have Maguire at the back. We played them twice. 5 goals a pop. After that, we can score sporadically.
10 in 2 and then 5 in the next 36.
It don't matter how it comes. It don't matter how it comes. I love that one. But listen, thank you very much for tuning in today. Really enjoyed the show. Always enjoy teaming up with this guy on the show. Right?
This guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm calling you now that you're writing this expose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This guy.
You sleep with the fishes. You know? Remember that guy said, right?
People, it's been nice knowing you. Yeah.
But have a great weekend. Don't forget we got some great content coming up. The Invincible podcast out tomorrow. I'm here every day with Transfer Daily, so make sure we keep you up to date with all the happenings and all the rumours, all the transfers that are out there. So make sure you check that out as well.
Supporters Club, Sunday, 5 p.m. Me, Chris Hudson, Curtis and Jordan. That's coming out too, discussing the transfer window.
Fire.
Yeah.
Make sure you check that out as well. So some great content coming out, and we will be over there in Orlando for Arsenal's tour as well. So looking forward to that as well this summer and getting out there to America. But thank you very much for watching the show, and we'll see you on the next one. And as Turkish always says,
love for the love, people. You know what it is already.